All right, bang, bang. It's Masters Week. Let's get it. We came off a very successful week. We can review if you want to watch that video. We came out with it earlier in the week. We got Price and Dustin. Welcome to the show, PGA show. It's a great week. How's it going, Price?
It's good, man. I'm ready for Augusta. We wait this week every year for the last, 4 or 5 years we've been playing DFS. And it's just one of the best weeks to actually watch golf. And now it's for the first time it's in November, so it's going to be even more interesting.
Dustin, what about you? Is your wife going to let you actually watch it on the weekend? Or I know you got 2 kids, a third kid now.
Yeah,
you got any golf in you?
How you going to forget my third kid, man? No, my mouth's still burning a little bit from the Death Nut Challenge, but I'm excited to watch the golf tournament this week. Obviously, in the back of my mind, whether I take him or not, I'll be rooting for Tiger just because I love me some Tiger.
For the viewers that don't know, Dustin is a survivor. All right, he is a survivor. He survived the Death Nut Challenge, and that's not an easy challenge, as I hear, but I'm kind of a wuss. I am not going to partake in that, but I'm not also planning on losing any bets. Price, though, let's get down to the course. We all know the Masters, but let's get down to the nitty gritty and what all it's about.
All right. So we are at Augusta National. It's been played here every year. The only difference is now, instead of April, it's November, which in the South makes for fairly different conditions for the course, especially for the overseed. There'll be some rye overseed in it. And someone else had Charles Howell on to talk about it. He's from Augusta, and he talked about how because this time of year can be in like the 40 to 50 degrees in the morning, and it's supposed to rain tomorrow and Wednesday at Augusta. So if it's cold and a little bit rainy, people aren't going to get the rollout, and so the distance isn't going to play as far, or you're not going to be able to get the rollout. So it's going to play a little bit further than it typically would. So that's where I think there's only been 1 or 2 times in recent memory where it's played fairly tough, and that's when Zach Johnson won. But bent grass greens, and they have the sub-air machines under the greens to suck all the moisture out so they can keep them like on the 14 on the stint meter to make them super fast. These greens are undulated. It's one of the toughest places to putt at. But it's one of the most beautiful courses in the world. It's going to be very weird without fans there, because a lot of people talk about how fans shape the golf courses here, especially at Augusta. And I think it's a huge advantage for the first time guys here to not have to deal with all the fans and all the pressure that's going to be there.
I think that's a very, that point cannot be understated. You also have to throw in there that the fans won't be able to get their $3 pimento and cheese. That's going to play a huge role in DFS this week.
So if any of you golfers see this, please send Chris a pimento and cheese sandwich so he stops talking about it.
Yeah, one thing I got to bring up though is some of those guys relish those fans being there. You think of Tiger back when he was in his heyday, and you could tell he eats it up. Making those clutch putts and chip ins and all that other.
Or he talked about it a couple of weeks ago, like 2 months ago, I think. He said it's just not the same without fans.
Yeah, so for some guys, it'll help, and some guys, I think it'll hurt them too. So.
But now, speaking of the course, we're going to go into a couple of the key metrics we like for the week. So the one I usually weight heavy, no matter what, I'm also weighting heavy again this week, is strokes gained approach. I think that's usually going to be the most important metric for me, at least, because it means you're actually hitting your irons well. You have good shots into the green. You're giving yourself a chance for birdies. So some of the guys, the one outlier is always going to be Bryson on this, because he hits the ball so damn far that sometimes it tracks his tee shot as an approach shot because he hits it so far. But some of the guys who aren't as good on approach, you wouldn't expect it, but they're at the top of the list here. But I'm really going to key in on approach this week. It's going to be my heaviest weighted metric. What about you, Chris?
So approach is a pretty easy one every single week to weigh. I'm going to go with driver distance. So, and I'm going to and a little caveat to that as well. I want people who drive the ball in the air far, not like Justin Thomas hits the ball a long ways, but his rolls out a lot. And with the weather playing in November, I feel, and it can be a little bit wetter. I feel like if you can drive the ball in the air a long ways, like a Bryson or McIlroy, even someone like Bubba Watson rates out number one on my model for what I'm looking for, and I weighted it at 13%. The three people that I'm looking at here, Bubba, great course history. He only has one green jacket because I'm pretty sure that you only get awarded one green jacket, even though he's won the event and he has 2 trophies now, but only one green jacket, I believe. So that could be something, you can go around at the bar and say, no, Bubba's won 2 green jackets. No, he really only actually has one. So Bubba, Rory, DJ, Tony Finau are all up there that I really like. Charles Schwartzel as well at 6,500. And that's where I'm at, looking at driving distance this week. And Justin Thomas drives the ball pretty far, but he has a lot of roll. And so I'm a little worried about that with the weather this week. What about you, Dustin? What metric are you looking at? Who are the few golfers that hit those metrics and are standing out to you?
Yeah, so for me this week, I'm looking at the par 4 efficiency for the 450 to 500 yard range. Very crucial here at Augusta. Last year, only one of the par 4s played below par, and it was the shorter one. So scoring on these longer par 4s are very difficult. And then like Chris and Price talked about with the weather and the ball not going as far, it's going to make it even tougher. So I want somebody that's good at scoring on those longer par 4s, or at least not screwing up. So some of the guys that check that box, and if anybody saw the value of the week, Justin Rose came in at 10th in my model. Brooks Koepka, number 1, Jason Day 4, DJ number 2. And so those are a couple of the top guys in that category. But if it gets tough scoring like it can like last year, then you want guys that are able to attack those long par 4s and score well, or have the ability to score well on them. And that's my key metric for the week. Obviously the weighting of them is the difficult part, and so kind of figure out which one is more important to you and for what reason. Segueing into our next part is going to be our fades of the week. Golfers we really don't like, and kind of a little bit of why we don't like them. So for me this week, I'm fading Gary Woodland for 2 reasons. One, he has terrible course history. He's played here 4 times, 3 missed cuts, and then he had like a 52nd finish. And also his recent form. He just hasn't been playing well. He doesn't rate well in my model. He's kind of towards the lower half. Just nothing adds up about him here this year. And so he's going to be my fade that I won't be touching at all. What about you, Chris?
Yeah, so Dustin, Jordan Spieth might be shocking. Yes, because he's a UT player. I don't like University of Texas. I'm from Austin and big hater of Texas. So no, that's not why. The reason why is his form. You got to be a good golfer eventually. And the reason why it's a fade, and it might be shocking to a casual golfer. If you casually watch golf, you're like, yo, RC, 2015, first place. 2016, second place. 11th place. 2018, third place. And then even 2019, he finished tied for 21st. So really good results. And he's only 8,200. So why are you fading this cat? Because he sucks at golf. He literally every single tournament is in the red on strokes gained. He's lost his swing. Everybody knows this. And another key metric that I said that I really like is driving distance. He's not a great driver of the ball. He ranks 36 on my model. This is a pretty small field, so 36 really isn't that good. And at the end of the day, you got to be a good golfer to be good at the Masters. And I feel like, even though his course history, he's really good at bogey avoidance. So there's reasons why a lot of people I feel like are going to want to play him at 8,200. And I just want to let you know, you do not want to play Jordan Spieth this week if you want to make some money. And you're watching this video because you want to make some money. Fade Spieth. Price, who you got? Who you fading?
So unlike y'all, I'm actually going to fade someone who people might consider playing is Colin Morikawa. I love Kawa, but
Wait, hold up. You just said people aren't going to consider playing Spieth with his course history at 8,200?
Correct.
You think he's going to be less than 5% owned?
No, I think he'll be less than 8% owned.
So you think he's going to be single digit owned?
Yes.
At what point do you think he's double digits? 7,900?
And it's, like 78, 7,700. And that typical where Kuchar was range that he's not in the field this year.
All right, go ahead, Price.
So just all across the board, Morikawa doesn't really check any boxes for me besides off the tee. Other than that, he's almost dead last for me in bogey avoidance and putting. And with how tough these greens are, him struggling putting on top of not being able to avoid bogeys is going to be tough. He struggles around the green as well. And at 9,500, man, that's expensive to play a rookie who does not look like he's going to do well on this course. There's better value. Like you mentioned, Bubba dropping down $500 going to him. But instead of fade him, a good value play for me is going to be Matthew Fitzpatrick. Because most people don't really like playing Matthew Fitzpatrick because you think of him and you're like, most people don't know who he is because was a Euro guy until this year. He came over here pretty much full time. He did well in every major he's played. He's finished top 20. He finished 21st here last year, so he tied with Spieth. He finished 7th in his first year here, so he did pretty well. I don't think he's going to be very high owned either. He's coming in at like 12% owned, which is fairly middle of the pack for a 90-person field. And the thing he does really well is he avoids bogeys, which in a major, you want someone who's going to avoid bogeys. It's just crucial to not just give shots back for no reason. What about you, Chris?
Well, Jordan Spieth is gonna be my fade, but let's talk about some listing golfers that you want to fade, but you're scared shitless that they're gonna cost you. They're gonna win the green jacket and cost you cashing and winning big money. And I'm gonna start up top. I got to go with Bryson, 11,200. 11,200. And the reason is, well, he came out and said earlier today he thinks this course is a par 67, which I think he's only had one round in the 60s in the Masters, the 3 years he's played. So in 2016, he finished 21st, tied 38th, tied 29th last year. So he hasn't done extremely well at this course. And yes, I know his game has completely changed. He now drives the ball 400 yards, insane. And he's very chalky this week. And at 11-2, some of the guys up in the 10K range, I like better. But am I scared fading him? 100%. I'm scared fading Bryson. But I think as of right now, I'm going to fade him. That's all I got.
I mean, it's for a good reason. He's just like we were off and on all summer where Dustin loved him some weeks and it was tough to fade him just because of how he's been playing. But I really think it depends on what his actual ownership is going to be projected at, because he might be one of the guys who gets talked up so much that no one actually clicks him because he's the most expensive. And that could be somewhere where you can gain some leverage.
Yep. My value play, I think this week, if you've watched our video, we kind of released it a little bit early since it is the Masters, was Justin Rose. If you go back, he's played in the Masters 2003. He's missed a couple years here and there, but I think 14 times. And his worst finish is 39th, besides the miscut last year. So to me, you look at a guy with that kind of course history, you can throw out the outlier, the anomaly of last year's missed cut, and look what he's done the other 14 years. And a lot of top tens. Obviously, he's gotten second twice here. He comes in very good price, 7,700, and he's trending upward with his putter, which early in the year when he was really struggling, his putter was terrible, among other things. But you see that trending up. He did pretty well at the Zozo, gained 4 strokes putting there. And then you look at the metrics on what we're looking for at Augusta National, and he checks a ton of those boxes. He ranks 8th in my model. I know he ranks pretty high in prices and Chris's. And so, you know, for a guy with that kind of value and that can return that kind of money on his price is almost, you know, a must play for me. And he'll be in most of my lineups for sure.
To touch on my value play of the week, don't necessarily think he's this incredible value, but Bubba Watson at 9,000 with his course history here is amazing. Also, he's coming in great form. He's number 1 in driving distance, which is my key metric for the week. And he's been playing all year long, and he's in great form. And he's 9K. This is a great play, and in my opinion, I can get rid of all the guys from like 9,100 all the way up to the 10K range, and allows me to, I think, slot in 2 guys up top and not worry about anybody else, and then go down to Bubba and then some lower 7K guys.
Bubba.
I know. I love Bubba.
Bro, he's playing so good too. So I know he's not like a typical value play, but at 9K, I just see so much value there that, in my opinion, I still think that's a good value.
Well, I mean, that's the definition of value, right? Is paying off for more than what you're worth. So as long as he's meets or exceeds that value, it doesn't matter what his price is.
So how are you going to attack lineup construction for cash this week, Dustin?
Yeah, for me, I think this week is one. I mean, usually when you have these really, really good fields, you got to go the more balanced approach. And so for me, I'm gonna, you know, a lot of times you got to figure out stars and scrubs, a star, some really good golfers, maybe 1 scrub. But this week, I think I'm going to try to go as balanced as possible. And get guys that I know that are going to score, that are going to make the cut, and that have a chance to finish, you know, in the top 20, 25. And usually I create a core of 4 for my cash builds, and then kind of see what I can fit. I get 4 guys that I think are the best at their price and what they can return. And then I kind of see what I can fit around them, see if it makes sense. So I'm going to go super balanced for a cash build this week, and you know, that's going to be my strategy for the Masters. What are you planning on doing for your GPP?
I think the balance is a great cash strategy, and I feel like I've done a lot of that in the Masters with my GPPs, and it hasn't paid off because Paul Casey misses the cut. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know how Paul Casey misses the cut, but he does. So I'm actually changing up my approach this week. I'm going stars and scrubs for my tournaments. I just briefly mentioned it, but I'm going to start with DJ, Rory, and Bubba Watson and figure out how I can fill in the rest. Those are my top 3 plays that I'm looking at up top, and those are the 3 stars that I want to make sure I have in my lineup, and take it from there. So that's kind of my approach. I think there's enough value at the 7K range to fit that in. And also there's a couple 6K guys that I really like. My model really likes as well. So that's where I'm at with the GPP builds as of right now, and how I'm going to build out my lineups. What about you, Price? Any other tidbits, especially for the MME guys out there?
So I'm going to do a little bit of all 3 builds. So I'll have a little bit of the balanced, a couple of the tiered, and then I think I'll go quite a bit of stars and scrubs because I like some of the cheap guys this week. because I think there's good value with people like Molinari posting Homa down at the bottom, even Charles Howell. So they're so cheap that I can fit in, a DJ Brooks, Rory. Like if I want to fit two of those guys in plus someone like Wolf or Finau in the middle, I can actually afford to fit four of those guys and then have two cheapies. And I think that's a great route to attack for the sole reason of the first timers not having to face the pressure of the fans. So I think this is a little bit different than most Masters. Normally I wouldn't touch a rookie as far as being in my main lineup. But I think because I listed on our website the 3 different ways to attack it with stars and scrubs, balance build, and the tier, which is 10K, 9K, 8K, 7 to start. So I actually list the 4 guys to play from each of those builds how you want to. So obviously I'll be a little more in depth on that, but I think for the most part I'm going to go stars and scrubs this week just because of the value down there and the 6K range for me.
Yeah, Poston, man, that guy. I think he's a steal down there. He's got the play going in. He's phenomenal putter right now, and then his course history here. So I think that guy at 60. Was he 63?
Yeah, 6,300.
I mean, he's checking. He checks off a lot of things right now for being that cheap.
So, the wager of the week that Dustin lost last week.
Did I lose that one?
You did. So, for everyone watching, we need to figure out how. I think we'll do a random giveaway on Twitter for who gets to, get bankrolled by Dustin for the Millie this week, and who gets the free monthly subscription on Dustin's dime.
Bang bang.
And this week,
hey, all
3 of us this week.
I was gonna say if they win the million with my entry, they at least got a 10% like a caddy fee type deal.
Oh, they'll just give you the $20 back.
Yeah, because they have to pay the taxes on it all.
True.
So this week, instead of it just being 2 of us, it'll be all 3 of us, and we're gonna use our value plays of the week against each other. But Chris, you have to pick someone that's not Bubba. You have to pick someone in the 7K range.
I mean, I picked Bubba.
No.
All right.
You backed out of the other challenge, so let's do this one.
All right. So I mean, can I pick someone that literally is 8,000?
No, you can't pick Paul Casey.
No, come on, man. Come on.
7K range.
I really want to pick Scotty, but he is a University of Texas guy, so I can't do it. And he's a first timer. And for whatever reason, every time I fill out my models, he's just non-existent apparently. So this is a game time decision. I really want to pick Phil. I ain't doing it. I'm not doing it. I really want to pick. Nope, can't do it. All right. Louis O is who I'm picking. So he has some pretty good course history. Tied 19th, 15th, 12th, 29th in there. So Louis O, and also when I look at his metrics, let me get down to Louis O here. 7,900, so it's the high end of it. But he ranks 19th. I mean, you said pick within the 7K range, so 7.9 is 7K range. Not to mention, chat, if you didn't know, before this, Dustin had first pick at this. So he could have picked Louis O. He passed on Louis O. He's 20th in driving distance, 7th in price of stat bogey avoidance. I mean, I'm not losing this competition. Louis O is my pick.
All right. Well, and we're going to pick the best comment for this, within reason, of course. No tattoo shit like that one time.
Or getting on top of a table in a public area and screaming, like that's not happening.
Please no more. If it is a spicy one, please let me win, because I don't know if I can handle that again.
Well, the problem is Chris cannot do it. He won't. Plain and simple, he won't.
Nope.
I think hot shit for the Masters is worth it, Chris.
Nope.
You have the most expensive guy.
I don't even want that option out there.
Yeah,
Come on.
nope, it's not
Let's do it.
happening.
It's the Masters in November.
How about if you lose, you have to do that hot chip challenge?
We
How
can do
about
tiered
yeah,
bet. Like you have to do this, you have to do that. I have to do
exactly.
Okay, so what's Chris's? The guy who doesn't do anything.
Well, that's up to our viewers to figure out.
Yeah, the viewers can figure it out, and it can be monetary.
No, because he's gonna say no.
It can be monetary.
If it's monetary, I'll take that route.
Yeah, well, no, you're doing hot chip. You already said it.
You have to cook me a steak, and I had to eat 5 fiery death peanuts.
Hey, dude, it's like $100 steak I'm gonna cook you.
Well, it's monetary.
I know.
All right, I'll give. All right, if I lose, I'll make it worthwhile. I'll do a. What do you think? A full I don't know, like a $50 single entry and a year-long membership if I lose to somebody.
Junior.
Dang.
How about that? A free year-long and a $50 single entry somewhere to the next tournament of NFL or
all because you're scared of a chip?
Hell yeah. Absolutely. I've seen people go to hospitals because of that chip.
You
ain't
haven't
catching me
seen
doing
anybody.
that.
Not me, baby.
No, Dustin.
The champ is here.
The champ is here. All right, so
Yeah,
Price, if you lose, you're doing the hot chip then.
No.
You just said.
Dude, I don't want to do that again. It's like, I've already done it.
You haven't done the hot chip.
We'll figure out something.
All
right, well, who's your player though?
We already picked ours. He has Rose, I have Fitzpatrick, and you have Louis O.
Okay. All right. Noted.
All right. So real quick, we'll touch on one player from each price range we like that we haven't really talked about yet, and one fade real quick. So Dustin, we'll have you start first up at the top.
All right. So at the top, I'm going to go with DJ is my favorite play at the top. And if I'm fading somebody, let's go JT. Just not feeling this Masters.
Christopher,
play of the week. Rory, because he just has to win the green jacket. Correct me if I'm wrong, to win the Grand Slam, right?
correct.
Well, simple enough. That's my pick.
Oh, that's my fade in this range.
Well, that was dumb. He's number 1 on my model. He's number 1 on tee to green. Number one on approach.
On our models every fucking week he plays. Because he's great at hitting the ball and all these metrics, but you know what he's not good at? Winning, especially at Augusta. He chokes.
I can't. All right. If Rory wins, you will definitely have to do the hot chip challenge for all the slander you're talking to Rory.
All right. And when he doesn't and you lose,
nothing is going to happen.
You don't have to do the hot chip challenge.
No.
We'll do a little bit, something spicy.
No,
a little bit. A little bit.
All right. I'll do a flaming hot Cheeto.
We'll let Kilo pick.
All right. What else am I supposed to say? Value also?
No. So
no,
fade.
I already told you, Spieth.
No, from this range. Pay attention.
From the top range?
We're just going to skip Chris.
You're talking about flaming hot Cheetos. I'm getting a little nervous here.
So we'll skip the wussy.
All right, no, hold on. I got to fade somebody. I already faded Bryson.
Okay. Right. That's all you had to reiterate instead of throwing a tantrum. All right. So fade Rory, play DJ. DJ's going to win.
Bang, bang. All right. Next range.
He is.
I hope so. I mean, I hope Rory finishes second then, because that's who I have also.
He's not going to. Rory won't even finish top 10.
The slander on the best golfer in the world is just outrageous.
I'm pretty sure DJ's the world number 1.
Yeah, Mr. Last month ago, I shot an 80 and 80 and 80 and then withdrew.
And then went first, second.
Everything since then. All right, moving on. I'm taking Brooks as my play from the 9,000.
Hey, dude, quit taking all my freaking people.
Okay, I'll let you go next in the 8K. Oh, give me your fade from this range, and I'll give you my fade.
Morikawa, and I'm playing Brooks all freaking day.
I like Brooks. My fade, even though it hurts to say it.
Tiger.
Tiger.
Tiger. Like, how predictable.
Weird.
Weird.
Okay. Hmm.
All right,
I'm still
Chris.
gonna play him in the tournament.
Hey,
All
what
right.
about Webb and Reed?
I'm done betting those dudes.
All right.
Moving on.
My fade is actually Xander, and it might surprise some of y'all because I love Xander, but I'm fading Xander, the top in the
What?
9K range. Well, when you have DJ who's going to get second, and then Rory right above it who's going to get first, you can't play all three. So I'm going to fade Xander. I actually have two I really want to play here: Patrick Reed and Bubba at the 9K range. So the 9K range to me has two guys I really want to play, and a lot of fades from Kawa to Xander to Brooks. I'm fading the hell out of Brooks, Tiger, even Webb Simpson. I don't love him. His driving distance sucks. He doesn't hit it far away. Relies on some roll. So I'm fading Webb as well. So that's 9K range. I think I went over every single golfer except for Patrick Cantlay, who I'm indifferent on.
He loves Augusta. I have an outright on him anyway, so I'd rather just let that ride than anything.
Yeah. What makes you think he loves Augusta so much? Talk to me about that.
Look at how
You're
he's played
intriguing
here.
me. All right. Well, I'm on my way.
And his last, his last.
He missed the
Timeout,
cut in
he won.
2018.
And what did he do last year?
9th.
And you know what he did Saturday, Sunday? Was make someone $1 million freaking dollars with how he played.
So he missed the cut in 2018.
Yeah, by one shot.
All right.
Okay.
Next range.
So Casey and Rose missed the cut last year for me. I'm still going to use them in my player pool.
Can we not talk about Paul Casey and Masters last year? It brings up heartburn.
We can, because it was very costly.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
All right. So 8K range. We'll let Chris go first on this one, because I think I know who you're going to pick.
I mean, why can I only pick one?
Because that's the rules. One.
All right. Can I fade Sergio?
No.
All right. So, oh man, just one.
Just one.
All right, just one. Dude, how do I just do one? All right, I'm going to go Tony Finau.
Oh, you surprised me there. I thought you were going to go Day.
That's my pick. Day.
No.
Oh, wow.
No, Tony Finau is my play. He is on par threes. The key metric there is 150 to 175, and he ranks second. Driving distance is fourth. I think he broke his ankle, Achilles, and everything else one year and
he dislocated his ankle.
Yeah, there you go.
Celebrating an ace on the par 3 contest.
Yeah, so Tony Finau, I'm actually really liking Tony Finau. I think between him and Bubba, it's going to be. I think if I'm needing $200, I might have to get rid of Bubba in some lineups and go down to Tony Finau. The fade, obviously, Sergio, because he has COVID.
Going out on a limb on that one, I see.
But I mean, I can't get away from. I got to reiterate, Jordan Spieth is the ultimate fade of the week. 8,200, good price tag, bogey avoidance, which Price loves, is first in my model, but he's a bad golfer. I don't care about his history.
If he wins, you're eating that damn chip.
All right. Yes. If Jordan Spieth wins, I will eat the chip.
Please. Come on, I'll lose all of my money this week.
if Spieth wins, I will eat the chip. And there's a legit chance he can win this tournament. I mean, he has pretty damn good course history. If you don't,
if it comes down to that on Sunday, we will be live stream. We'll figure out how to live stream. We will live stream this.
All right. There's very few circumstances I'll eat the chip. Very few. Jordan Spieth, yeah, I mean Sergio winning would definitely be an instance, but Jordan Spieth winning I would do it.
All right, Price, let's hear yours.
I can't believe y'all I'm doing this. I committed to that.
I love it. I'm gonna fade Tommy again. He's still overpriced. And I'm gonna play our boy Matty Wolf.
That's funny because he's my fade.
Ooh. Well, Day was going to be my fade, but I didn't want to trounce on Chris and you back to back, so I was going to be nice.
And Day is my play from this, so we're flip flopping here. I also like Hideki a little bit, but if I had to pick, I'm going to go with Day.
All right, Dustin, the 9 or 7K range.
Well, we know my favorite play is Justin Rose.
That's a cop out. You have to pick someone else.
I'll go. Oh, somebody else?
Yeah, and you can't say you're fading Woodland.
What about Neiman?
You guys.
I'm actually gonna go. I'll go out on a limb and go Phil here. I feel like he's got one more in him. He's been playing well in the Old Man Tour. He ranks pretty well in most of the categories. He's great around the green. So I'll go him, and I'll fade Shane Lowry. Terrible my model. I just don't even want to look at him.
Chris?
Well, I mean, you took my thunder with Phil, with Lefty, with Phil. I mean, I play Phil. Like, why are you picking my guy in the 7K? I play Phil.
You don't have to not pick him.
I'm not going to pick him. No, I mean, he's 6 my model, first and around the green. Like, I'm mad at you. All right. I am going to pick Cameron Champ. Cameron Champ.
Shocker.
7,100. I don't even have to go into why. He's an amazing player. But if you want a couple reasons, on the par threes, 150 to 175, he is 4th in my model. Pretty sure the bent grass green is his thing. Off the tee, he's really great. Driving distance, he's a phenomenal. He ranks not as high in my driving distance as I would think, 17th, but he's a great driver of the ball. 7,100, I really like. Who to fade? I'm going to fade Answer. 7,400. I think I don't know how, I haven't looked at percentage of how popular it's going to be. Price can tell me that probably pretty quickly, but he's 51 on driving distance. He doesn't stand out anywhere. Literally his
pretty low owned, only like 5%.
Low owned. Okay. Well, 7,400 is I initially, you look at Answer when he's 7,400, he's a pretty good golfer, but none of those stats look good at all. What about you, Price? What? Yeah, well, it's hard to miss this cut.
So my play is going to be Lee Westwood.
I like it.
He was popular going into last week, and then he just did awful.
Yeah.
Just completely shit the bed. But he played great on the Euro Tour leading up, and his only time over here was for the U.S. Open, where he finished 13th. So he's someone who knows how to play well at majors. He's cheap. He's 7,200. It was between him or Cameron Smith, because Smith doesn't rate out very well for me. But, man, look at his last few tournaments. He's been very, very good. And then fade is going to be Chris's guy, Cam Champ. I just don't see him paying off this week.
Last week I faded my boy, Sam Burns, and that played out well.
I mean, I think the easy fade is Brendan Todd because he doesn't hit the ball very far. And if the weather stays like it is, he's going to be hitting like a 3-iron in.
Yeah, but every time we talk bad about the guy, he just goes out there and proves us wrong.
Yeah. I mean, Zach Johnson won this tournament, and every year I feel like I played Kevin Kistner a bunch, and he's always played pretty well here. He doesn't hit the ball that far.
He's on record. He said he'll never win at Augusta. He said that it's too long. He can't win there. Yeah,
Sergio Garcia said he would never win a major because he's not good enough, and he won the Masters.
It's a lot.
And he 100% said that.
But a little off topic on your fade of Gary Woodland, Dustin. Have you seen a picture of him recently? Everyone else is bulking up, and he's probably lost 25 pounds.
Really?
He's like super skinny now. So everyone else is bulking up to get, faster swing speed, and he's doing the opposite.
Validating my fade. I like it.
And then cheap play of the week. I'm gonna go Francesco, 6,700.
Stealing our guy.
Love him. He did what I wanted to last week. He did good, not great. So people shouldn't take him too much unless they're going to be crazy. My fade. Oh, it pains me to say this, but Lanto Griffin. I like Lanto, just not this week.
Before me and Dustin go, I want you to talk about JT Poston a little bit.
Why I like him so much?
Exactly why you like him so much.
All right. So look at his last 4 tournaments. You got 3rd, 27th. Yeah, 51st when he messed up his eye. He was playing around or hitting on the driving range before round 4 or round 3, and something chipped up and hit him in the eye. So it really messed with him. He did great last week, finished 20th. His main thing is he's a great putter.
And course history here.
I believe this is his first time ever.
No, I thought I looked at it earlier. Let me see.
I'm pretty sure he's a rookie. Because on Twitter today, he said, it's always been my dream to play at Augusta.
You're right. I was looking at his recent tournaments. Sorry.
I just wasn't going to call you out on it, but you went there again. So
it's fine.
I mean, you went back to it twice. But he putts good on bent. He's been really solid on approach for the last month. And he's just a fantastic putter. So he's okay off the tee. But the main thing is at 6,300. Like, we need people who are going to obviously make the cut because it's a short field. And he's going to allow me to use Dustin Johnson and Brooks Koepka in the lineup.
Yeah, I think you go 3 top heavy guys and play JT Post and then my guy, value Max Homa at 6,400. He is a great driver of the ball. My one worry is I don't think he's played here, has he? I don't think he's played here. So that's a little worrisome when I'm really looking at this, but he does really good in par 5s. And I don't know, man. I'm looking at Max and it's more of a gut play than the model play. But I think he's a good driver of the ball, like I said, and 6,400. I really like that price point for him. But honestly, I would love to start my lineups with JT Poston and Molinari on the lower end, and then also DJ and McIlroy at the top end. I love those starts to those bills right there, those 4 golfers to balance each other out. The one play that early on when I first saw, I was like, you know what, I kind of like Siwoo Kim at 6,800, but he's not good at avoiding bogeys. I don't think his mental game is there, and he doesn't drive the ball the way I would like for this course to be set up for this week. So Siwoo Kim is going to be my fade. And also, I just wanted to note Zach Johnson. I don't think this tournament is going to play out like the year that he won. And so Zach's a good price point, but I don't think this tournament is going to play like that because, like Price said, what is it under the greens? It's air. What do you call them?
It's sub-air, so they can suck all the moisture out to dry them up and firm them up.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be warm enough that I just don't think Zach Johnson is going to be in play this week for me.
Yeah, I think somebody that's interesting for me, obviously, I'm more on the guys we've mentioned already, but Kevin Na, he's been playing pretty well, rates out pretty well my model, really good at 3-putt avoidance, and overall a good putter. So somebody that's 6,700, anybody in the 6K range that you can get that you think can not only make a cut but finish in the top 30, top 25. And I think he's playing well enough to do that, or has the potential to, for a guy that's 6,700. So he's another guy I'm going to be looking at down there in that range.
All right, we're going to wrap it up here. I think we've had enough bets for this week, but let us know in the comment section below, who do you think is going to win our bet? I have Louis O. Price, who do you have?
Fitz.
Dustin?
Mr. Rose.
Justin Rose. Let us know who you think is going to lose this competition, Price, myself, or Dustin, and why. And also make sure you follow us at DDFS Dads, both Facebook and Twitters, where we are most active. We respond to all DMs and messages, but if you are a member, you must be joining the Slack. Become part of the family. Our army is growing, and we've been making a lot of money, especially our cash core on NFL every week has been producing. Thank you, Dustin. Bow down, Dustin. Bow down to the peanut death nut champ. And Jordan Spieth, if you're watching, better not win this tournament.
Win this mother freaking tournament.
Yes.
Make Chris eat that chip, please.
I mean, I've known Price for 30 years, and I've never seen someone
gladly throw my money away this week for that chip.
Not funny, Dustin. All right, we'll see y'all. Let's go make some money this week.